to new what if. This is going to be what if Naruto had Arceus's plates and was elected. Now Arceus has 17 plates, just for people to know. And if you want, you can just check in the Google. So, anyways, and yeah, I know many of you guys must be angry on me because I'm not completing the what ifs. Yes, I will complete the what ifs. Don't worry. And I may not be able to do what ifs again because I may have to go to school again, which is troublesome. So, anyways, back to this what if. Now, yeah, and before I start the what if, please, I just request you guys to subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below, and click the like button. And share this video with many people as you can, please. By which at least I can have some subscribers. So, anyways, let's get back into this video. Now, I want you guys to at least make me at least 100 likes. That's just my wish. Though I'll still upload even if you don't give 100 likes, but I just have a request. So anyways, back to this what if. Now this happens during the meteor fall. Now here Arceus tries to stop the meteor, and he uses all of his plate's power to create an time space rift. He creates a literal black hole in the entire, and he, like, Earth. He doesn't suck the Earth. He was just trying to suck this meteor. This is a special meteor. It could destroy the entire planet, so he had to use a lot of power. But he did a miscalculation, and not only did he obliterate the meteor, but he obliterated himself. Though he did not take much damage, but he lost all of his plates, which got sucked into the vortex, and Arceus fell into the ground and died because he did not have any plates. Now, because of this, the plates had to choose a new Arceus for themselves. And as they were traveling through dimensions, they connected together to form a small sphere. Now, if you do remember in the movie of the Arceus, Arceus was able to combine some of his elemental plates to create a sphere, the jewel of life, which was able to, completely give life to many things. So I don't think like combining all of them cannot give a jewel. So yeah, here is going to be a form jewel and going to travel to the Nautilus. Now a small portal is going to be opened and fall on the Ninetales. This is during the Ninetales attack. And here Minato has a triplets, and Kushina was actually in a worse condition because she had to give birth to three children. And the masked man still took Naruto away from Kushina, and because of that there's going to be many changes. So yeah, now when Minato was about to do the Reaper Death Seal to see, like, use the Shiki fusion, Hiruzen came and beat him to it, and then he was like, Minato, and like Minato was like, Sensei, like, third Hokage, why are you doing this? I'm the fourth Hokage. I should be doing this to save the village. And then, like, Hiruzen just smiled and said, you're my successor. How can I let my own successor die? I cannot let that happen. And at the same time, I'm old. My wife is no more. It's my time to go to the afterworld. I want just one request. Please take care of these children. Minato was sad for a minute, but then he just nodded and he's like, I will, Sensei. And then, hearing this, Hiruzen smiled and he was like, so how do you want me to split the nine tails? And then Minato thought for a minute. He was like, I think you should split it the chakra between Mito, Menma, and some chakra to Kushina, and keep the soul inside Naruto. Hiruzen was confused. He was like, why? Then, seeing this, confused look on Hiruzen, Minato continued. Because I think Naruto has blonde hair. And because of his blonde hair, I think he acquired the Namikaze genes. And Namikaze do not have a lot of chakra and vitality. At least that's what he thinks, but he did not know. So he decided to keep chakra between Menma and Mito, which Hiruzen agreed, and he placed chakra between Menma, Mito, and small amount of chakra inside Kushina. And after he sealed that, use the nine tails, he couldn't even attack. That nine tails was like almost like bones. If you do remember in Naruto versus nine tails, after Naruto took nine tails chakra, now nine tails became like bone. He had to use like he had to become so slim just to create a gigantic Biju Dama. So yeah, the same happened here. The nine tails became very thin and weak, but still it went to attack Hiruzen. But Hiruzen used all of his strength to pull the nine tails. Now, unknown to him, he was also pulling this orb, which was on the nine tails, which even the nine tails couldn't notice. because of the amazing power the orb has, it just concealed itself. And the second when he pulled the orb into Naruto and sealed it with Naruto, what happened here is the orb got separated from the Nine Tails, and the orb flew, and he felt Naruto's pure soul. Now Naruto is still the reincarnation of Ashura, just for let the people to know, he is the reincarnation of Ashura. And because of Ashura's good deeds in the past, and Naruto's soul is even purer than Ashura's, you know, this even though Naruto's a kid, the destiny has made sure that Naruto becomes a very kind soul. Because of this, the nine, I mean, Arceus plates, which has become an orb, fuses with Naruto's soul, and turning Naruto's soul into a very, very, very powerful. And Naruto's soul, which is supposed to be everyone's soul should be blue, actually became rainbow and became strong. And it started to mutate Naruto. Now, when QB was sealed inside this happened because when the QB was sealed, they still did not keep the cage. And the cage was only meant to stop evil. But whereas in the Arceus' power was not evil, it's just godly. So once Hiruzen completed Shiki Fusion Jutsu, he died, saying that he wanted everyone to be treated as a hero. But things did not go as planned because now Minato, uh, after 2 days, he starts to hate Naruto. Now because Minato sees Hiruzen used to be like a grandfather figure to him, and to find out that Hiruzen sacrificed his life to save the village and seal the demon inside Naruto. And Naruto has three whisker marks. And yes, just to let you know, just a little time skip. Like when Naruto's the soul Naruto's soul got evolved when it got merged with the Arceus plates. What happened is a small energy wave came from Naruto, which nobody noticed, and the wave caused trees to grow. The very much injured people, near death people. This caused also the people who are at near death stage or has fatal injury to be healed completely fine, and even lost arms were regenerated. This caused everyone to be surprised. And at the same time, when my meter started to cry, because Naruto was sleeping, and Naruto was unknowingly releasing this power to heal people. Seeing this man, Kushina and Minato were surprised, and they thought that it was the waves, their crying is making this happen. And Naruto's energy stopped. At the same time, Menma Meter stopped crying. The reason they were crying was because the chakra was a little bit caused a problem in the system, but it was just like a pinching sensation. That's all. So for that reason, they were crying. But because of Naruto's chakra, that like energy, it healed that like small pain that they felt. That's the reason they stopped crying, and the healing sensation also vanished. So thinking that because Menma Mito Menma and Mito, they were crying. It must be because of their crying that everyone got healed. Yeah, though people who are dead did not come back to life, but at least their bodies, which were completely obliterated or damaged, like to a unrepairable point, was at least fixed. So at least people can bury them properly. So yeah. So from that point onwards, Naruto's life is trash. Minato sees Naruto as the Nine Tails because Naruto has the three whisker marks. Though Minato sees Naruto looks exactly like him, which is one of the reasons why Naruto hates him, because he thinks that he was a prodigy, and how could a demon like him, who, how could a demon take a form exactly like his younger days? And yes, Naruto looks like this. Just the thing is, he has three whisker marks. Now Naruto is given the clothes to wear, which Naruto is happy about. But what happens here is at the age of 3, Naruto is a prodigy over prodigies. He was able to start learning things. He started to go to secretly to the bookstore, like not a bookstore, I mean shelves, and the Namikaze Uzumaki compound, and read about Fuinjutsu and other kinds of scrolls and understands them. Though Naruto doesn't have a chakra, he can still understand them. Now By this time, Naruto's existence about being the Jinchuriki of the Ninetales, having the soul of Ninetales, whereas Menma Mito are the saviors of the village, having the chakra of the Ninetales. This caused everyone to cheer for Menma Mito and hate Naruto because has the soul, and people think that the soul is like Naruto is the Ninetales itself. So people hate Naruto. They show hatred towards Naruto. There are only very few people in this entire village who actually treat Naruto as Naruto. So yeah, Naruto whenever he goes out, like at the age of 3, like Naruto as being a prodigy, he wants to go out and like roam around, but he gets beaten every day. Naruto is actually slim because he doesn't get fed properly. Sometimes when they get angry, they even throw Naruto outside the house, where the villagers like find him and start beating him up to death. Now they fear that if they kill Naruto, the Nine Tails will again appear. So that's the reason they do not kill Naruto, but they beat him to the near death state, and they traumatize Naruto to a very high extent. Because of this, Naruto hates the village, but he still doesn't want to have hatred for the village. He thinks that like everything can be, achieved by love, which Naruto thinks, but yeah, it's not gonna happen. So yeah, now we time skip to 1 year. Now, in this 1 year, Menma and Mito have received like such nice treatment by the villagers, everyone. Whenever Menma and Mito like are carried by their parents and walked around the village, everyone are like bows to them and they give them sweets, they give them food, and like they praise them. And like after like because of this, Naoto started to feel a little sad, though he understood that parents like they're like he's smart, so he understood that he's a Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails and he has a soul of the Nine Tails, whereas his brothers has chakra. He understood that they can lose control if they get angry, but he still did not understand why his parents were showing so much favoritism to him, like to them and not him, and why do they beat him up and for simple things, silly mistakes. Now it is beaten to a pulp. Though his parents don't beat him too badly, but they throw him out every time. And the villagers beat him very badly. And when he returns, their parents think that he was doing special training, which they did not allow him to do because they fear the Nine Tails. That's the first thing. Second thing, they wanted only their son and daughter. Men might be only them to be strong. So they started to hate Naruto. They started beat Naruto if he comes home bruised. This made Naruto, have a lot of pain. Though Naruto has, skin kissed, like sun kissed blonde hair and, the nice good skin, but still he's hated. Now, at the age of 4, I was saying, let's come back to the present. So, you know, our toad Sanin, Jiraiya, with Tsunade came back to the village. And he went directly to, Minato's house, where Minato was sitting with his wife, playing with his son and daughter. When Jiraiya came, like knocked on the door, Minato opened it. And he was surprised to see Jiraiya and Tsunade. He was like, "Oh, Sensei, Tsunade-sama, how can I help you?" And Jiraiya was like, "Minato, we have to talk." And Minato understood this was serious and was like, "Come in." Then Jiraiya was like, "Minato, I just received a prophecy from the toads." And Jiraiya was like, and Minato was like, what prophecy? That prophecy that you told that time? No, Jiraiya was like, no, it changed. The new prophecy says that the child of prophecy shall judge everyone with his unavoidable power. No, you know what? I'll just change it. The child of prophecy should judge everyone, born from the hatred, born from born with a curse, a power which everyone hates, but will still rise. Now they are like thinking that the hatred. They're like, ah, yes, because the Nine Tails has so much hatred, and the curse. Yeah, of course, there's Nine Tails. Chakra is sealed into them, but they forgot that Naruto is the one who has the Nine Tails soul. He is hated by everyone, and he's cursed with the Nine Tails soul, by which everyone beats him to death, which nobody realized. And if they would have realized it, they would have easily discovered that Naruto is this child of prophecy. Now and then they were like, I've gained an idea. So The next day was supposed to be Menma, Mito, and Naoto's birthday, but Naoto was never treated good on his birthday. Now, on this day, Minato called everyone in the village who are like clan heads and great merchants. Like in other words, shinobi and civilian council. All of them came and started give presents to Minato, like Menma and Mito, and started praise them. Then Minato caught everyone's attention and was saying, "Okay, everyone, this is an important announcement. I hereby Minato Namikaze declare that my son Mito, sorry, Menma, and my daughter Mito shall become the new successors for Namikaze and Uzumaki clan heads. They are going to become the new clan heads." And everyone started cheer. And Naruto was heartbroken. He was like, but, but why? And seeing this, Naruto started crying and he left the house. Now, Itachi did notice this and he went after Naruto. And even Shizui noticed it. And yes, Shizui and Naruto, Itachi are friends. And Shizui, Naruto, and Itachi are friends, yeah. And the reason is because Naruto at the age of 3 showed them like a lot of promise. He was intelligent. He could understand things that they couldn't. And though Naruto did not now Naruto couldn't awaken his chakra because his parents did not give him any training to awaken his chakra, whereas his brothers already did. And they used chakra enhanced strength to beat them. Though it's not as strong as Tsunade's because Tsunade has fine control. So yeah, Naruto is beaten up. Sorry, no, never mind. So yeah, Naruto went to the first Hokage's stone statue and started to cry. He cried for hours and hours. At least that's what he think. But he only cried for like a few minutes before you know Itachi came and it was like, Naruto, what happened? And Naruto's like removed all these tears from his face and was like, nothing, Itachi-ni-chan. And Itachi was like, Naruto, I'm like a big brother figure to you, right? And Naruto's like, yeah. Then why are you lying to me? And Naruto started to cry harder. He's like, why do they hate me? Why do everyone in the village beat me? I know I'm the nine-tailed Jinchuriki, but why? I just wanted love. I don't want anything else. My parents don't even train me. And seeing this, Naruto, Itachi was felt pity for Naruto and he's like, okay, Naruto, take this. And he gave Naruto a scroll. This scroll contained how to unlock chakra, and Naruto was surprised. He was like, I once heard you saying that your parents did not allow you to awaken chakra, right? With this, you should be able to activate your chakra. Hearing this, Naruto was very happy. He was like, thank you, Nichan. And then it was Shizui. And Shizui was like, Naruto, as another big brother figure to you, I shall give you this gift. He gave Naruto a scroll which contained fire jutsus. And Naruto was happy and he hugged, you know, him, hugged Shizu and was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And saying this, he left the house happy. When he entered his room and he opened the scrolls. Okay, now Naruto, he kept the fire scroll, fire jutsu scroll somewhere else, and he only took out the, chakra control scroll. And Itachi also gave him another scroll, which was like, a scroll to help him, do chakra control exercises. So as Naruto was reading them, you know, his door, Menma and Mito burst through his door, and they were like, "Hey, Naruto, did you get any gifts?" They were like, smirking. Now Menma and Mito are like arrogant bastards, so yeah, they were smirking, and then they saw something. Naruto was hiding something, and then they were like, "What are you hiding?" Naruto was like, "Nothing." And then the man was like, "What are you hiding?" He then used chakra infused punch and punched Naruto. And then he took, you know, the scroll and he was like, chakra unlocking, the ways to unlock chakra control exercises. Like some demon, like you need this. And saying this, he did some hands and was like, fireball jutsu. And now he did a very small fireball, burning the scrolls away. Naruto was like, how dare you! And he punched Menma on the face, sending him flying a bit. Menma got angry. He was like, how dare you punch me? And then he started to release, and then Meteor got angry, and she went to punch Naruto, but Naruto slapped her. This made both of them angry, and both of them started to release little bit of Nine-Tails chakra. And feeling the Nine-Tails chakra, man, like Minato and Kushina like appeared in Naoto's room, and they were like, "What happened?" And then members like, "This demon hit us," and this made Kushina and Menma like Minato pissed. Then Naruto was like, "No, they lied. I did not hint them starting. They were the one who destroyed my." Before he could complete the sentence, he was slapped in the face by Minato, and then he was again slammed into the wall by Kushina, and she was like, "How dare you? Your brothers were special, and being cause of your jealousy, you hit your brothers because you did not get your gifts." At least that's what she thinks, because Naruto did not complete the sentence. She thinks that Naruto was jealous and hit them because he did not get gifts. And she starts bashing Naruto and starts slapping him, and then she says, "You're disgrace to us." Saying this, she leaves. Naruto was heartbroken, and then he decides, "I cannot stay here." So at that night, Naruto takes he's good in Fuinjutsu, and as he saw the scroll how to unlock chakra, Naruto being a prodigy, like the second they left, started to cry. He was bleeding from his nose and from his mouth, but still tried to awaken his chakra, and he did. He made sure that nobody could sense it, and then like awakening chakra, it's just like a little bit chakra flowing out, and inside the house only if you have QB chakra they'll notice. So yeah, Naruto's chakra was special. It was like unlike anyone's. It was kind of like rainbow, and it was so dense. And Naruto could was 100% sure if this chakra was little bit to be came out of his body, his parents would immediately sense it, and they'll come rushing down to his room and start beating him up more because he has awakened his chakra. So he did not release it, but instead he used it wisely, and he created a storage seal. As I told, Naruto is good in Fuinjutsu, even at the age of 4. And for the next year, Naruto was used as a training practice by his brothers, beaten up to crap. But Naruto started practice Fuinjutsu and to a good level. Then one night, after 1 year, uh, at midnight, Naruto took the secret fire scroll that Shizui gave him, which he hid. He kept it in his screening scroll, and then it stole kunais, some clothes, sealed it, and then he went to the ground floor, into the library, where in a secret space was where Minato kept his prize jutsus. He kept how to use advanced sealing jutsus, how to use Hirashin, and he also kept the scroll of sealing because he feared that people will be able to get the scroll of sealing from the Hokage's office, so he kept it in his house. And his house was had a lot of security seals, so nobody should be able to enter it. At least that's what he thinks. Now to smirks, he's like, they always kicked me out of the house. And yes, this after that time when Naruto's scrolls were burned, Naruto was beaten. He was beaten to a pulp. He was thrown out of the house every night. It was just lucky that today they allowed him to stay inside, and it was their downfall. As Naruto went, he took a scroll. He carefully, neatly copied down every jutsu in the scroll of sealing, and then whichever jutsu he's like in the shadow clone jutsu, mm, and like there were many jutsus in the scroll, and like some jutsus like the shadow clone jutsu which they first created, which nobody saw down, but they were underneath the scroll, was how like I mean not the first created, second, the it was written how to improve the shadow clone jutsu, make them like kind of like a real existing clones. And he which was not completed yet, but now they decided to he will complete it. He copied everything in the scroll of sealing, complete creating like a copy of the scroll of sealing. And then he decided something. He he added like in a small seal to such a way that whichever are the powerful jutsus that he connected, after he leaves, if anybody, like except for his chakra, tries to open it, the jutsus will be invisible. Now, because Minato never opened the scroll, he only learned the Hirashin, but he never read anything else. And he evolved the Hirashin, but he did not care. Naruto had also taken every notes of Minato's about Hirashin, and he stole them, placed him in a screen. I mean, in a scroll. He took so much food from Minato, a lot of money, not a lot, some money from Minato's account, which he not account, a wallet, which was on the dining table, which he left there, and some important scrolls about Uzumaki clan and a map and some basic healing jutsus, which Tsunade gave, and advanced healing jutsu scrolls. But before going, Naruto also took the Kenjutsu scrolls, and he left. He left the Hidden Leaf village. Now, since nobody cared about Naruto for almost the next 5 months, nobody cared for Naruto. Everyone thought that Naruto was in the village, and even Minato and Kushina just keep Naruto's plate. And if Naruto doesn't come and eat the food, they just throw it away, thinking that he's not hungry, which they don't even care. They, by many days, Naruto not eat food to the point they started forgetting about Naruto himself. They forgot who Naruto was and everything. Now, it was only after 7 months that Minato was like, "Hey Kushina, I'm free today. Do you mind coming with me? Let's go to ramen." And Kushina was like, "Yeah, that's my name." And she was like, "Oh, we should also take now." Like she was like, "Let's take Menma Mito as well." And like, Minato was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, we should not forget to take Naruto. He's been in the house for so long. I think it's better should take him." And Kushina was like, "Yeah." She started to feel a little bit bad because after she hit Naruto that day, she saw how he was getting bullied. But she just kept it aside and she went to like she shouted, "Naruto, come down here." After some time, nobody came. They were like, "Huh? Why is Naruto not coming?" Then they were like, "Naruto, come down here. It's an order." Naruto still did not came. They were confused and they were like, "Let's go up and see." As they went up to Naruto's room, they were like, "Wait, why is this door so? It's kind of like not clean." They opened the door to see, a room which was clean but very dusty, had nothing in it. They were surprised and they found a slip at the corner of the room, like on the table. They were like, "What is this slip?" They went and opened it and then they read the slip aloud. They were like, "Hello, whoever it is reading this, if it's Menma Mito, I'm sure they'll burn this. But if it's my so-called parents, though, just listen one thing. I hate you. Though I used to love you with all my heart, I hate you now. I just wanted to show that I can be capable as well, but you hated me. I just wanted to be acknowledged by you guys, but you still hated me. And so, be this way. I hate you guys. I don't love you anymore. Goodbye. I'm leaving this village and I'm leaving your flowers." And saying this, the note ended with Naruto, only written, just Naruto written at the end of the paper. Reading this, men, both Minato and Kushina start to realize what they have done. They had neglected their son for almost 6 years now, and they start to realize the hatred for Kyuubi blinded them, and now they're paying the price. They were like they forgot the son. That day, Minato shouted to call, he summoned all the Anbus, and he requested all the Anbus to search for a person called Naruto Uzumaki and showed them his picture. And he told them that that's his son and find him. And he summoned, Jiraiya and Tsunade. When Jiraiya and Tsunade came, you know, Jiraiya was like, "Hey, my student, what happened? Is it something to do with Menma Mito's training?" Naruto, Minato was pissed at this thing because he saw his both kids were very arrogant, but he did not care about that. He just loved them. But now that his sons, like he on this note, Naruto on this note also wrote that how he was bullied by them, but he couldn't do anything. So it's like, no, no, Jiraiya-sensei, this is something even more important. And then Jiraiya was like, is it something to do with the Nine Tails? Is it has to did they lose control? Do we have to fix the seals? Naruto and Minato was like, no, sensei, it's about Naruto. And like Jiraiya was like, oh, that brat who's not the child, that not in the prophecy. Yeah, so what, Minato? What happened to him? You know, Minato was like regretting it. He was like, why did I even listen to stupid prophecy and leave my son alone? I'm such a bad father. He was thinking this and he was like, Minato sensei, sorry, I mean Jiraiya sensei, Naruto has left the village. And Tsunade was like, what? When did he leave? How long? And Minato was like, he left about 7 months ago. And everyone was surprised and they're like, Tsunade was like, wait, he left 7 months ago. Then how did you know that he left now? And then Minato explains everything, how he they treated Naruto, and then Tsunade is pissed off. She's like, I expected better from you both. How could you do that to a small child? He just wanted your love, right? How could you do this? Saying this, Tsunade was like disappointed. But then, Jiraiya was like, Tsunade, don't be angry. They had to train the child of prophecy. So they must have forgotten him. And then, Tsunade was like, Jiraiya, even if it's a child of prophecy, how could you forget your own son? And Jiraiya was like, it doesn't matter. Anyways, he's not the child of prophecy, right? It does not matter. Just so leave him. This pissed Tsunade, but she did not say anything. But, but Menma, like because of this, she started regret training Menma and Mito because now they told like how they bullied him. Like Minato told how Naruto's note they bullied him, and Jiraiya was like, I think that the boy is lying. Like, how could our like child of prophecy bully some weakling? And Jiraiya was saying while chuckling a bit, but then an Anbu appeared. This was Itachi with a weasel mask, and he was like, Hokage-sama, we couldn't find Naruto anywhere in the village. He's nowhere near the village. If I'm correct, he must have left the land of fire a long while. Just made now, Minato clench his fist. He was like, damn it. Send the army to out of the land of fire, and search for Naruto. And Weasel nodded. But then before that, now Weasel, Minato was like, what good reason could be that Naruto left? And then Weasel was like, Hokage-sama, if you don't mind, I want to answer this. And then like Minato was like, yes, go ahead, Weasel. And Minato was, and then Itachi was like, Hokage-sama, when none of you were at home, like when Naruto's outside the house for some reason, he's always beaten to death by the villagers. He has been like kept in genjutsus, stabbed all around his body. He's even almost tried to be burnt alive, only because of some miracle that he's alive. Every time that somebody tried to burn him alive, like the flames disappeared, saving him. That's the reason any time he go into ninjutsu or genjutsu, he survived. But he still received torture. Now, what they did not know was that at that time, Naruto only awakened to his elemental stones. Now, because of that, now at that time, Naruto survived all the torture. Now we cut back to Naruto. During this 7 months, Naruto has traveled to the land of Whirlpools, to the Uzumaki land. Now, when Naruto came near, the barrier did not allow him to come, and requested his blood, which Naruto dropped a little bit of his blood, and the barrier scanned his blood and then figured that he was an Uzumaki, let him in. As Naruto is walking down in the land of Whirlpool, he meets an Uzumaki. It turns out that the land of Whirlpool, what people think was completely destroyed, was actually not destroyed. Some people from the Uzumaki clan still survive. And when Naruto told his life in the Konoha, they started to hate Kushina. And according to Uzumakis, they should love their family more than anything. And Kushina has broken it. And this person that Naruto was talking to was the Uzukage of the Uzumaki clan. I mean, of the land of whirlpools. His name was Kaito. I just gained this name right now. So yeah, now Naruto started to train with Kaito on how to use Fuinjutsu, and Naruto also started to go on missions. Naruto has decided his new goal is to become the Uzukage of the hidden Whirlpool village and make it prosper and make it the strongest village. Naruto also, sent many of his. Naruto at this time was able to improve his Shadow Clone Jutsu. The first jutsu that improved to the point the Shadow Clones are like our complete real clones. They have life. They can take more than one solid hits. They can even take two Biju Damas until they disperse. Only then they can disperse. That means they're just pretty broken and powerful. They have the same strength as the user, and they can even though they have less chakra than the user, they can also restore chakra. But they have a problem. This jutsu allows such a way that the clones cannot hit the real Naruto. Like they cannot kill the real Naruto, which is like a very good thing because if one Naruto goes out of control, the clone Naruto, he may even kill real Naruto. So yeah. Anyways, back to the story. Naruto on this time has learned and mastered all the jutsus, and he even met the Nine Tails. It turns out that the Nine Tails is actually very friendly. It so happened that when Minato was sealing the Hiruzen was sealing the Nine Tail, he unknowingly sealed the Ninetales hatred within the chakra and gave it to both the children. Whereas the Ninetales pure soul was given to Naruto, which means that Naruto has a friendly Ninetales, by which Ninetales became friends with Naruto. And Ninetales, whenever Menma Minto used the chakra, was able to gain pure chakra, his kind version chakra, back to him, making him feel happy that he's gaining some strength. And he even mentioned how Naruto has this weird power. And if Kurama channels his chakra, yes, Naruto learned Kurama's Kyuubi's name as Kurama, channel chakra, he should be able to awaken more of its power. So within the next 2 months, like when Naruto arrived to the yeah, into the land of whirlpools, Naruto activated it and gained all of his plates, by which Naruto's resistance has resistance to genjutsu because it's a normal stone, any kinds of mental attacks because it's psychic stone, and his normal stone allows him to absorb chakra, natural energy, and his elemental stones allows him to absorb elemental attacks. Naruto was able to, with his grass stone, able to use wood release with the combining fire and water, fire and airs, plates. He was able to use scorch release and other releases. Naruto became a prodigy. As being a prodigy, he became very strong, and Naruto went on missions. By this time, the land of whirlpools, uh, population has increased. Now, the population of the land of whirlpools rivals that of the hidden leaf village, and you're like, how could it increase so quickly? It just so happened that when the during the war, almost all the Uzumakis, they created uh, some cloning technique, and they kept seals on them such a way that they completely explode when they die. They get fatal injury, so nobody knows that they are clones. And the real Uzumakis, they are in the rest of the world, which even Kushina doesn't know. But you know after wait, after 2 years after Naruto's disappearance, Naruto was able to gather all the Uzumakis. They again gained their military force back. Naruto was able to free, you make friendship with the many places. Like he made friendship with the land of snow. He helped killing Gato in the land of wave and gained the wave's trust. And instead of creating a bridge to Konoha, they built a bridge towards the Uzushiogre. And they even gave some of the Gato's money to them, but most of the money they kept it for themselves. And they prospered Uzushiogre. And because there are so many Uzumakis, they were able to create such a ceilings which allowed them, the Uzushiogre, to float in the middle of the air. And to enter Uzushiogre, if you're Uzushiogre ninja or you have permission to enter, then only you can teleport inside Uzushiogre. And now it has evolved the flying Raijin. He does not need like Minato to apply seals. When whatever picture Naruto has in his mind, he's able to teleport there in a white flash, not yellow. And he's is much faster. He can go even faster. And because of him having, time and space abilities, yeah, it grew so fast that Naruto was able to teleport to 100 million locations, and it will be like as if Naruto was like a shadow clone in every location. But the only thing is that Naruto is just teleporting so quickly that after images are left, Naruto was even faster than like light. You're like, the fuck? How is Naruto faster than light? Well, simple, because time and space. Because of this, Naruto is able to stop time, and even faster than anything, he's going to teleport. He can again resume time. So yeah, Naruto's technically faster than anyone. And Naruto was wondering, how did he ever gain these plates? Until one day he had a dream how a Pokemon or some creature which he did not know, but he gained the name as Arceus in his mind, protected his world and sacrificed itself, giving, and his plate chose him as their new Arceus. Naruto, that day when he awoke, he was happy. Now he knew that he was Arceus. Now, as Naruto was leaving, like now, what happened is that day Naruto started doing brush and doing dressing up. Now this is Naruto at the age of 12. Alright guys, so yeah. Then Naruto, somebody knocked on Naruto's door. Then Naruto was like, I'm coming, wait a minute. Naruto meets this girl. This girl's name is Suki. She is one of the most pure blood Uzumakis. She has, the ability to use chakra chains, and her chakra chains are like a pure goldenish silver. She has the like crazy capacity of chakra, and yeah, and Naruto has a gigantic crush on her, and they both are boyfriend girlfriends. Yeah, but Naruto was the like she was also in the Uzumaki, like she's also in Uzumaki, yeah, and she was in Uzushiyoga. When Naruto came, they both became friends. Then later they became something, right? They became boyfriend girlfriend, and they went did missions together. And then like they were like, hey, you wanna train? And Naruto was like, sure I do. And yeah, because of Naruto's having the fighting stone, taijutsu is useless against Naruto. And yeah, if you want to use something like chakra, normal stone, like normal plate, he's able to absorb chakra. Elemental technique, Naruto is able to absorb it. Naruto is like a freaking god now. Like Biju Dama. It has negative energy. And Naruto, so normal stone can absorb that as well. Negative and positive energy. And yes, Naruto wood style, yeah, Naruto has the grass stone. I mean grass plate. So yeah, Naruto's OP as hell. And so Naruto also became a sealed master, and he started to train everyone. And they were building up the army for Uzushiyoga, and they made a pretty good progress. Now Uzushiyoga's army was equal to that of Konoha's if they had, like in the canon before the Ninetales attack. And because of this, they are like they have a very strong army. Their defenses were very high. They made sure that nothing can attack them. They kept um, they made sure that the place is well guarded and people protected very well. So yeah. Mm, mm. Now let's do 1 year time scheme. During this 1 year, Naruto started getting many memories about moves that he never knew about, Pokemon attacks. But Naruto was able to do hand signs and was able to create these Pokemon attacks. Then he learned that he did not even need hand signs to do jutsus, which surprised him. And Naruto, he takes his techniques to a higher extent, because Naruto is a prodigy and more creative. He was able to do things like how Gray from Fairy Tail is able to use his eyes to create many things like ice make cannon, ice make dragon, ice. So yeah, Naruto is able to do exactly like that with his eyes and other elements as well. And because of this, Naruto's OP. Naruto's skin is so thick. No, nothing, like nobody can defeat him. You try to keep like Fuinjutsu on Naruto, yeah, it does not work against Naruto because he has Psychic Stone, and his normal stone protects him from that. Elemental attacks, nah, doesn't work. Body as hard as diamond, so it's just useless. And if you were to go like use Kamui, and try to hit Naruto, it's also useless because Naruto has power control over space and time. And gravity, my man here has the ability to control gravity itself. Because if you do know, Giratina is like a void Pokemon and it could control gravity if you did not know for the fact. So yeah, Naruto is so OP that now he's just broken. And now it so happened that at the age of 13, um, because of many, Uzushiyoga ninjas being shown up in the villages, and how this ninja called the the Crimson Beauty, the Crimson Swordsman, and the White Flash of Uzushiyoga, the the what should I call him? The Holy Devil was a nickname Naruto gained, and because of this now nobody challenges Naruto, and yeah. So, anyways, mm, because of this, many requests were made for Uzushiyoga to come to the tuning exams. Now, they're going to send it? They're going to use birds, and they found out where Uzushiyoga is, but it is flying in the middle of the air. Their jutsus cannot reach it, and even if they do reach it, Naruto has used some of his power to make such a way that the attacks are absorbed, and now it becomes more stronger. So yeah, so as Naruto was going, a bird comes through the barrier, and because the barrier does not allow anything to come inside, all right. So, though Uzushiyoga is now a very very beautiful area. Naruto sees the bird and he sees the letter. He takes the letter and goes to the his Uzukage, whose name is Kito, as I told. At least that's what I think. I just keep changing his name, so don't ask me anything. So yeah. Now Kito reads his message and says that they were invited to the watching invited into the Chunin exams, which he asked Naruto and his girlfriend Suki, along with another teammate whose name Suigetsu. Yes, Naruto is actually here, saved Suigetsu, Karin, and all of those people from you know Orochimaru's experiments, and Suigetsu actually became very good friends with Naruto. So yeah, these three are the team. So in the next part, I'm gonna do them in the Chunin exams. So bye, peace.